Yo, Still Bills, what's the deal, man? I'm fresh off the, well, I ain't fresh off the clockage, man. I just had to jet over here to this, it's like Ace Hardware store. I got this weird light fixture in my kitchen, man. It ain't the regular light bulbs that screw into the light. It's prongs. You dig? It's like prongs at the bottom of the light bulb. You gotta, yeah, man, just some extra shit. Motherfuckers just be wanting to be too extra out and fancied out for their own good. So I got to stop over here and grab that. But peak gang, man, we got to get into this shit, man. And that is allegedly. Well, first off, let me say I'm very, come next Friday. I think it's Friday. Nigga will be copping that undisputed boxing game, and I can't fucking wait for it. And I think I'm finna get bumped up by these motherfucking police because I ain't got the tags on the back of my car. If they looking, they gonna get at me. But if they get at me, I got the plate, so it is what it is. I don't think they was looking at me. So yeah, bet that. But peep game, man, I can't wait to get, next week. Nigga is gonna get this boxing game. I'm overjoyed about it. I've been watching for this shit for about what 3 years now, maybe a little even longer than that. I think about 3 years, and with the help of Riyadh season and the money they got coming in and interjecting into the or injecting into the sport, I think they was able to make make a play for a nigga to hurry up on that game. So now here we are. They done had early access for the past year. You dig? We've been waiting for this. I got to the point where I was like, man, I don't give a fuck no more, man. Whatever. So now that we got this game jumping, come next week, niggas is on that. And I'm gonna be one of them niggas that's on that. And what I'm hearing is Ryan Garcia is no longer a playable character in the game due to his racist tirade that he went on and Islamophobic tirade he went on. And all I gotta say is all praises due. Shout out to Steel City for doing that, man. This is the type of ramifications that I think people need to be faced with and punished with when you come out of your mouth and say the stupid shit that you say. I think Teofimo should be barred from the game if they decide to if he decides that he wants to be put into the game. And it doesn't just have to stop at at undisputed. They're talking about fight night is coming out. They're trying to make a comeback. They've been giddy to make a comeback and all this shit. All right, cool. If that's the case, y'all need to keep that same energy with Teofimo that y'all did with Ryan Garcia and not put him in his game. Edgar Berlanga, him too. Anybody coming out of their mouth with racist and bigoted, disrespectful shit to say about a specific demographic of people, you should be banned and barred. You dig? I'm not a fan of the LGBTQ. I'm not. I don't support that shit whatsoever. But if you come out of your mouth and say some wild shit about them, you deserve ramifications for that action. If you are a part of a specific religious demographic and people come out of their mouth and say some wild shit about that, some discriminatory shit about that, you need to face ramifications of what it is that you said. I'm all for that. I'm in a place in life now where I'm glad these barriers are being preserved and upheld, and it's forcing respect out of certain people. I take no issue with that whatsoever. I take no issue with that whatsoever because everybody has a plight and everybody commands respect and everybody should be respected. I don't see anything wrong with that, man. Me personally, like I said, man, the F-bomb used to be in my vocabulary like a motherfucker. It just did. And then you look like a fool trying to explain this shit. Well, I don't mean it like a gay person. I just meant it like you being a bitch. It don't matter how you meant it. It's about how it's received and what the word is intentionally for. Then when you come across, I explained it to y'all before. I had a homegirl who was she's a stud, and she came over to my crib for the Andre Ward fight, the Ward versus Kovalev fight. And I was already in the process of trying to get that, just purge that word out of my fucking vocabulary as is. And I slipped up this one last time in front of her. And I said it. And in the midst of me saying it, I caught myself saying it. But I said it enough to where she knew what it is that I was trying to say. And she gave me this really nervous laugh, like you do know that's offensive, right? And I don't want to, because we cool, I don't want to have to be the one to check you on it. But you do know that that's a wild word for you to say. And you know what community that I'm a part of. And I just seen her energy and everything. And it wasn't like it was lingering energy or nothing like that. But it was just a split second, like a nervous laugh. Like, yo. And maybe she didn't mean it like that, but that's how I interpreted it. And I was like, I'm never about to say this word again. And I just feel like I'm a better person for not saying that word. Because like I said, with me and that community, it's always gonna be a clash because y'all not gonna make me bow down and concede to your, your ideologies or whatever. But that doesn't mean I don't want to respect y'all. That doesn't mean that I think y'all should be disrespected. That doesn't mean I don't think y'all should be protected under the letter of the law the same way as us. It's just me saying that I don't concede to your lifestyle. And there's certain teachings and ideologies that y'all try to bestow on the, on the American not even the American population, just the global population, and how y'all move and how y'all want. Man, we don't even need to go into all that. I don't support the lifestyle, but that doesn't mean that I don't like y'all and I hate y'all. That doesn't mean that shit. So I feel like I'm a better person for not saying that word. I just think, just it's a certain level, my morale slightly heightened when I took that word out of my vocabulary. So my point is, if you have something disrespectful to say about them, I think you should face ramifications of that as well. I honestly do. I honestly do. So when you look at someone like Ryan Garcia, who went on that rant that he went on with the George Floyd thing and wanting to making professions to want to be a part of the KKK and all that wild shit, you deserve every bit of energy they give you. And I think this is a start. And with the world really starting to come into, be reintroduced into boxing again, and shit, it was 20 million people who watched Usyk versus Fury. It just so happens only 1 million people actually purchased the fight. Hey, that right there shows interest. It honestly does. But because of everything being put behind the paywall, the sport is still suffering and is trying to come, make a comeback for that. But it's an interest in the sport nonetheless. And so with the interest in the sport comes an interest in this, the artificial shit, the artificial and simulating shit that you can do in this, that has to do with the sport. And when you're a character in the game, you don't think they seeing some sort of a bag off of that, and don't let you be a downloadable content. You dig what I'm saying? I love it. I love that he's facing all of the shit that he's getting. I love it. I absolutely adore it. And I think it should be more ramifications for what it is that he had to say, because that was just such a deplorable thing to say. Things to say. But I'm not a Muslim. I'm a black man, a black American. So what he said about George Floyd and I hate niggers and I want to be a part of that KKK and all that wild shit. And it brings me to question how someone like a Derek James can sit there and even corner this man after saying all that shit. How you look a motherfucker in his face and be like, yo, man, I ain't tripping on all that shit. There's no amount of talking we can do to reconcile that, Brody. Because you hit on some very sensitive triggers that, a respectable black man to look at you and be like, what? Nah, man, we part ways right here. Even if you don't approach him about it, because I'm not a dude who's just, I'm about to address this shit right now. You dig? Stand on business. I'm not one of them niggas. You dig? I don't want no drama. I don't want no confrontation. So it's a certain energy I'm gonna give you to let you know that I'm not fucking with you, or I'm not fucking with the shit that you doing around me. And I don't want to have to address it because I don't want the drama. And if it's something that's sensitive, you saying the word nigga, I don't want to have to address it with you and you get combative with me feeling offended by what it is that you're saying. Because that right there is going to have a zero effect. Now we really going to have to step outside or something. Because this shit right, like the shit that you're doing, you want some extra out shit. So maybe Derek James is one of them type of dudes. I don't know. But, you're a former fighter of your damn self. So it's a certain level of, animal ambition that you got instilled into you. I don't see how you can sit here and look this man in his face. And he got him looking pretty good on the mitts. I got to be real. But how can you sit there and look this man in his face and be okay with the shit that he was saying? And to a point where you want to train him, bro. If Steel City Interactive, if they're dropping him because of the wild shit that he was saying, how can you sit there and continue to train this bitch ass nigga for saying the shit that he was saying? I don't know, man. Maybe, Earl Spence doing that sucker shit that he did to him where he just, he decided to dub him or for whatever, and the money that he was fucking him out of. Maybe that right there in itself is like, it's hurting his pockets, you dig? Because I don't know. But if that is the case, and that's the reason why you need to cling on to, this is your bread and butter right here. All right, man. It's understandable. It's understandable, but man, at what point does integrity usurp a dollar, a bag, bro? It's just no reason why you of all people need to be a corner in this motherfucker. So if you got a video game conglomerate who's willing to sever ties with this motherfucker, I think you should follow suit. And there's no better way than to let a motherfucker know your ways are not going to be tolerated than doing the shit that Steel City Interactive did. That game is going to do a lot of numbers, bro. It's going to do a lot of numbers because we've been deprived of a boxing game for well over a decade. We done had how many UFC games come out in between that time? 3-4 games? This game is going to do numbers. And with you being stripped of the fucking roster, you're going to feel some of that. You're going to feel some of that. Everybody enjoying themselves. You know how I mean, shit, you're a boxing fan. But at least the majority of fight fans the majority of fighters are fighters, just like ball players. The majority of ball players are basketball fans or football fans. So naturally, all right, cool. The season is over. I still want my daily dose of basketball. I still want my daily dose of football. I still want my daily dose of baseball. I still want my daily dose of soccer, hockey, whatever the fuck ever. You want to just kick back? Hey, yo, man, call the homie up, run that shit. I got hands for you in this game. And you would think that, yo, I'm gonna be me. I want to see. I want to see what it's like for me to play against me. You dig? And you don't even get that opportunity because your ass did some stupid shit, and now you being punished for it. Dummy. So shout out to Steel City for doing what it is that they did, man. I think right there, that is a good look, and I think that is how all bigots should be dealt with. I think that's how all racist bastards should be dealt with. Hit him where it hurts. Hit him where it hurts. I still think sanctioning body should get at that. Should get at anybody. Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez. I think all y'all need to be got at. I think it's enough push for us on a grassroots level to demand a certain level of respect politically and socially that we need to push for Edgar Berlanga. The same way the blowback was pushed on Angel Garcia for getting overtly comfortable with saying the word nigga. It needs to be those same ramifications for Edgar Berlanga and any non-black person who says that word. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. But this is a start right here. This is a start. And I like that. I like that. You will be punished for your actions. You will definitely be punished. So punish these motherfuckers. And why are those kids outside? Okay, they're not outside by themselves. Punish them motherfuckers. Punish Ryan Garcia. I love it. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. All these video games, all these sanctioning by anybody in the business of boxing that can hinder somebody from getting the bag, y'all need to stand on business and command respectability politics from certain fighters. Black fighters as well. Black fighters are not exempt. Black fighters are not exempt. Whenever a nigga come out to a fight and he fighting a Mexican and he come out in Mexican garb, that is something that should not go unnoticed, and that's something that needs to be punished. Stop doing that. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. All the mocking and goading at you motherfuckers, that shit is not cool. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. We need to dead that shit. We need to dead that shit. It's not funny. It isn't. It just isn't cool. Everybody who does something disrespectful needs to be punished. They need to face ramifications for that action. And this is a good start. So shout out to Steel City Interactive. And I will be purchasing that $80 game come next week. And that's all the fuck I got to say about it, man. Get Ryan Garcia the fuck up out of here. Deuces.